Hi everyone. This video is going to tell you about economics as an option subject for Leaving Cert. So you can see here on the screen, one of my favorite quotes about economics reads, "Economics is too important to leave to the economists." And for me, that means that economics is so widespread in all of our lives. It impacts on all of us. We all contribute to it. So it makes sense that we should all have a basic understanding of what the economy is and how it works. So some of you will know that economics is one of the 3 business subjects you can take for Leaving Cert, and many of our students will take economics with another business subject, particularly if they have a background in this area. But you do not need to have done business for your junior cert to take economics for Leaving Cert. Of course, it may give you a slight advantage, however. So what is economics? As I said, it's one of the 3 business subjects, but technically economics is classified as a social science. And what that means is it's a study of human behavior, it's a study of people, and it's a study of society as well. So in economics, what we study really are the decisions that people make using the scarce resources that they have. And that's a fundamental problem in economics. We don't have enough of everything to satisfy everybody's needs and wants at the same time. So because of that, we have to make choices. And the choices that we make are what fascinate economists. So to do this, we look at consumers, we look at businesses, and we look at governments and why they make the decisions that they make. So why would you study economics? Firstly, like I said, economics is a really nice way of introducing yourself to the world of business, especially if you don't have a background in this area. So it can be a really good gateway subject to learn about the business environment in general. Another reason why people choose economics is that economics students and economists are specifically trained in 2 really important skills that are needed in the modern world, and they are analysis and problem solving. And these are skills that employers look for in their employees. Another reason why people choose economics is that it has so many connections with lots of other areas, not just that you may want to study later on, but that you may wish to work in after school. And they're things like marketing, general business, finance, social science, politics, things like psychology and international development. So if I wanted to take economics, what type of student should I be? The first thing is that you should be interested in current affairs. And I don't mean by that you need to inhale a newspaper from cover to cover every day of the week, but you should have a general awareness of what's happening in your country and also in the wider world, or at least have a willingness to learn about that. The second thing I mentioned before, but you do need to be interested in problem solving, because that is one of the key things that economists will do. They look at why things have happened, why we should care that they've happened, and more importantly, how will we solve different social and economic problems. Now, the last bullet point here is something I really want to draw your attention to. Economics has a very strong mathematical element to it. Now, I don't mean you need to be a genius at higher level maths, but you do need to be comfortable and confident working with statistics and numbers, and more importantly, you absolutely need to be able to read and draw graphs and diagrams. So that may be something to factor into your decision making. So you can see here on the screen, economics does have connections with other subjects that you might want to think about or that you might be interested in. The strongest connections between economics and other subjects are things like business and geography. That is a winning combination, as a lot of the same topics are covered across those 3 subjects. But there's also other links with things like history and to a certain extent home economics as well. So after your 2 years studying economics, in terms of the assessment then for your actual Leaving Cert, you have one exam, which is 2.5 hours long, and you will also have completed in early 6th year a research project, which is worth up to 20% of your final grade. And this project involves being given a topic by the Department of Education. You then research some data and you apply economic concepts and theories that you've learned about with me in class, and then you write up a typed report about what you found out. So just to give you an idea of some of the things that we study, it's not an exhaustive list, but there's a huge range of options here for people. So it ranges from consumer behavior straight up to things like businesses and enterprise. We look a bit about the government and taxation, and we also look internationally too, and we look at things like international trade and what it means to have economic growth and economic development. Now, just some questions to show you here. These are things and samples of what economics students would be questioning in class. Now, I know there's a long list here. I'm not going to read them all out, but of course you can pause the video if you want to read them in more detail later. But the message I'm giving you here is that we may not have the answer to these questions at the end of 2 years, but we will certainly have discussed them, debated them, and we will be able to weigh up both sides of the argument. So with that in mind, if anybody would like to ask me any questions about economics or discuss it further, you can contact me at the email address on the screen, and I'd be more than happy to have a chat with people about what economics involves. So I hope this video has been useful, and I look forward to seeing some of you in September for economics.